Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast, episode 136. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
Good morning, Ant. How are you?
What's so good about it?
It's we're here. This is real life. You know, after last week talking about virtual reality, now we're here in the real, in the norm.
Yeah, put me back in VR.
What? Like, remember VR Troopers?
Yes.
I was after last week's episode. That's all I was trying to find with clips of VR Troopers.
Okay, I would never look that up.
But,
But, considering the fact that after the headset, after the VR headset comes off, you have to go to work and pay bills and all that stuff. I'm perfectly fine just going back into the VR permanently.
Let me ask you, which was better, VR Troopers or the big bag Beetleborgs? Remember
Can
that?
I get a third option?
What was the third one? There was a third one. That it was like those Power Rangers ripoffs. I can't remember what it was. Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad.
Yeah, okay, I'll go with that. Sure.
Which one had the nerdy friend from Parker Lewis Can't Lose?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't remember? Oh man, where's Josh?
Okay. No, well, yeah, where is Josh? I think I may have worked for one of the companies that did the Superheroes Samurai Squad. I don't know. I've worked for like everybody here. Let me rephrase that. I worked for everybody who made like those third-party, low-rent, cheap knockoff shows.
Those were the best. Well, we're back, and talking about virtual reality. Well, before we get into VR, remember, folks, we appreciate you listening to us. Thank you for liking the Facebook page, and remember, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, wherever you listen to podcasts, you can listen to us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and that's my segue.
Yes.
You can also, I'm still sleeping.
I see that.
You can also watch us on YouTube at just look for the Retro Gamers Podcast. You can check us out on Instagram at Retro Gamers Podcast and our Facebook page, of course, facebook.com/Retro Gamers Podcast.
And over on the YouTube page, remember to hit that little bell icon next to subscribe, so that way you know every time we drop a new episode. And hit subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, so that way you know there's a new episode available. I mean, it's every Tuesday. You know that.
Yes, and every time a bell rings, a Virtual Boy dies.
I thought we were done with that.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what?
Get it out of your system.
I'm sorry. Old habits, man. Old habits die hard.
But, okay. But now that you mention it, speaking of Virtual Boy, so after last week's episode, after talking about VR, and we, you have the PSVR now. I bought the Nintendo Labo. I have the first Nintendo Labo kit as well. Okay. I just never put together. I plan on one day. Just never got around to it. But I was bored. I had nothing to do. So I'm like, let me put together the VR kit.
You're in the middle of moving and you were bored with nothing to do?
Well, I can't physically move yet. Like the actual act of putting stuff upstairs because they're still working on it. So, and I basically disconnected my cable box. And because I never use it, so I'm like, why even bother, having it hooked up? But so I'm like, yeah, all right, let me put together the Nintendo Labo, which is pretty cool. So first, I give you like a little test, like a little test Labo to put together. You just put your controller in it, just to kind of teach you how it goes about.
This is how you fold cardboard.
No, really, that's kind of what it is. You got to be careful because if you fold it the wrong way, there's no replacements for these. But then that took about maybe 5 minutes. 45 minutes later, I finally put together the goggles.
Oh my!
Which are awesome.
Okay.
And
how sturdy is the cardboard?
Honestly, it's very sturdy. I mean, it's got some. It's like laser cut, so popping it out because it comes in sheets. So popping it out is easy. You still want to be careful. I mean, it's still cardboard, but it's not going to easily bend too much. But like the little tabs or whatever, like those things, that you can always screw up. But yeah, no, this thing is awesome. The games that it comes with are pretty sweet. There is no downloadable content. It's all on a physical cart. So that is going to be the only cart that is in my Switch. But I did find the Virtual Boy video.
Oh, yeah, the hidden video, yeah.
Not really. It's not as much hidden as it's deep.
Okay.
There's like a bunch of quick videos you can watch. But yeah, the Virtual Boy, I got to admit, like you said, it's just the startup of virtual tennis. And I'm like, this is amazing. This is awesome. So very cool. Go get yourself a VR kit. And there's still like 5 other things to put together. So
okay,
those I'll bother with later. And I also found, just to show you, I remember I was telling you as well, like on your cell phones, you can do quick VR. This is the free Simpsons Google Cardboard that I got.
Oh, cool.
It was for Treehouse of Horror 2027. And it was free. Like if you were like the first, I guess, 10,000 or whatever, they just sent it to you. And, just fold it out and whatever, you put it together. And it's cool. They're both handheld, but it's pretty sweet. So this VR thing is sweet. One final thing, because I want to hear about, I know you picked up some stuff for the PlayStation.
Of course I did.
Here's what happens with me. So, all right. So I put this thing together. Again, it holds up well. There's a lot of pieces to it. So and then the goggles, they had a sticker over it. And the game kept telling you, what your cat's doing?
Oh, my cat's running around the house.
So the Lambo game, because the game walks you through it, tells you do not touch the lenses, which is correct because you want to keep them as clean as possible. So I put the whole thing together. I'm using it. It's sweet. I look in one of the lenses. And I'm like, son of a gun, a little speck of cardboard. Like whatever. Got on the lens. I thought it was on the outside of the lens. So I go to gently wipe it. No, it's on the inside. And I got to tell you, there's no way this thing's coming apart once it's together. So now I'm fitting my fat finger through the slide. This is where the switch goes.
Yeah.
And like ever so gently, I'm trying to maneuver it so just the skin touches the cardboard and not the lens. So 45 minutes to put it together, 20 minutes to try and get the speck of dust off the inside of the lens.
Well, did you succeed?
I did, thank God, and I don't think I smudged anything. So,
well, I would have. I mean, logic would suggest trying to use something else like a Q-tip.
I honestly did not think of that.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have made a lot more sense. No, because I'm bending the cardboard, I'm shoving my finger in. Oh, it's terrible.
Yep. And then, did you buy for the lenses? There are 2 things. When I bought my VR, the first thing I did was I went online and looked up how do I keep this thing clean.
Yes.
Because obviously
you're a germaphobe.
Well, I'm a little bit of a germaphobe. Lenses and the lenses are sensitive and all this stuff. And you know what? If other people are using it, it goes on their heads and stuff. I just want to keep it clean.
Agreed.
Yeah. So I looked up a website. I looked at some websites to see what people do to keep it clean, and I wound up buying these special like I think they're baby organics baby wipes. So they're not using any chemicals in them. So just to like wipe down the inside of the the headset frame, just after every use, so it's nice and clean. And then, but the two things I thought that also were very smart to buy. One is a microfiber cloth to clean the lenses.
Didn't it come with one?
It came with like a little square, like this big, and I'm like,
tiny.
Yeah, I'm like this tiny thing. I'm like, what the hell? I was like, for $6, I got 3 of them on Amazon, and they're like giant towels. So I'm like, okay.
You use them out of the shower.
Yeah, exactly. Take a shower, dry off, and then clean your lens. I bought that, but then I also bought, and this is why this would have helped you a lot too. Compressed air can.
Oh yeah.
So because you know how because then you can just spray any dust or specks that get inside the lenses. So those are the 3 things that they that I found were most helpful in keeping it clean.
No, that makes sense. They also sell. I've seen they sell like almost like sanitary one-use guards that you can put inside the VR goggle.
Yes.
So you head and then you just throw it away when someone else wants to use it. So you can insult your friends.
Exactly. I saw those. I actually thought about buying them. But then as I looked at them, I'm like, okay, that's going to be weird. First off, you put them on your face like a mask because they have a thing like you tie behind you. I was like, so you look like you basically look like a 99-cent version of Robin. And that's exactly what I saw. I was like, ooh, I was like 99, I was like dollar store Robin. But then on top of that, like, as soon as you put the headset on, I was reading a lot of people were complaining. It's like, as soon as you put the headset on, it moves. Because it's just
I can see that. I mean, it depends on where you get, what quality you get. It's kind of like the socks that you get at a shoe store. The cheap socks when you
exactly. They're pointless. So
So
So I just think that I think the baby wipes are the way to go. It keeps everything clean, especially when you're playing a game like Beat Saber, which is now my cardio workout. I put in 45 minutes to an hour of that almost every day.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, awesome. And not only am I getting really, really good at the game, I was like, but I work up a really good sweat, it's definitely a nice workout.
All right, that's cool.
Yep.
I just wrote it down. Organic baby wipes. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I'll give you the actual name when I, after done. But yeah, so no, been enjoying the VR. Where are you going?
Very good, very good. I'm not going to.
Okay, so I got, and now like I have a little VR library, which is nice. I couldn't just settle for one game, even though that's all I've been playing. Beat Saber, I got Astrobot Rescue Mission, which everybody loves, and I played a little bit of it, and I love it already. Resident Evil 7, which you can play fully in VR.
There you go.
Yep.
Get your pants off. You'll need those baby wipes.
Yeah, let me tell you something. The demo of it was scary enough. Playing the actual game. Yeah. The demo of it was scary enough. Now I can play the actual game, which is awesome. And then I picked up Star Wars Battlefront, the original Star Wars Battlefront, not Battlefront 2.
Okay.
Because if you buy Battlefront, there's a VR download. There's a VR download mission based off of Rogue One, the movie.
Yep.
And Battlefront right now is on sale on PlayStation Network for $5.
That's ridiculous.
So I bought Battlefront for $5 just to download the VR mission. I can care less about Battlefront. I just want the VR mission.
That's awesome.
And then I also picked up Batman Arkham VR.
Oh, okay.
So you're Batman.
I'm Batman. How is that? Have you tried it? I'm like fully.
Yeah, I tried it. I tried it at my friend's house a few weeks ago. The reason why I'm blowing all this money. And it's really cool. I didn't get that far in the game. It was all like kind of just making your way to the Batcave, suiting up, and then going out to find out that Nightwing has been murdered. But and then you're like in detective mode. But it was actually really, really cool to kind of like figure things out. And you're using your bat tools, like your scanner and stuff like that. So yeah, it's actually really cool to see it from that perspective. But the Iron Man experience that they've recently did, that's gonna be the game changer for VR. There's no question about it. I was like, you get to be Iron Man and fly through New York City. Done. Sold. I'm in. It's the closest I'm ever going to get to being Iron Man because I'm not an eccentric billionaire that can afford to build a suit. I'm not sure. We all know somebody's trying right now.
Oh, are you kidding me? Absolutely. Especially now. Slap that VR headset on. Good to go.
Yep.
All right, cool. So virtual reality may not be a fad like we talked about last week. Glad to see that you're really getting all in on it.
And yeah, but I'm going to draw the line at the Labo thing because I don't know about the whole because to me, like, it's almost like half of a VR set. It's like you can't, like, you have to, like, kind of sit and hold that sucker. You can't you can't wear it.
That's, that's what everyone, you do. You put it on like that. You have the controllers like this.
Yeah, I can't imagine that being very comfortable.
It's not bad. You get used to it. Remember, you're not, like, walking around or anything. You're basically just doing it sitting down.
True.
You double tap on top. That's how you pretty much, like, do things. Mm-hmm. And it's more, remember, Nintendo's more, like, the family friendly. Yeah. So like these Labo kits are really designed like for for the parents to put together with the kids, or a 39-year-old to do by himself on a Saturday night.
Correct.
Either or.
Yeah, there are worse ways to spend the Saturday. No, there aren't. Never mind.
Actually, there are, but that's for a different podcast.
Oh no! Well, yeah, I was just gonna say you cover that. You cover that elsewhere.
So, all right, cool. So, VR really hitting its stride. Looking forward to it. And actually, not just as far as new games, besides the virtual reality, I don't know if you picked up the new, I think we mentioned it once before. First of all, I'm still trying to rack my mind how Konami is 50 years old.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Konami is 50 years old, I think maybe in the sense of, well, I guess they could have been doing games that long ago. Like, how Nintendo's over 100 years old because they started in playing cards and stuff. I don't know. I honestly don't know enough of Konami's history. And now that you bring it up, I'm going to use this little search thing called Google, which will probably bring me to Wikipedia.
Yeah, honestly.
That's exactly what Google does. It's like, I'm going to look up Konami. Hey, look, Wikipedia.
I'll let them do the work.
Right. So let's see. They were founded March 21st, 1969. So actually 50 years to the day this past Sunday.
Oh, yeah. No, well, March.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Last month. God, it's April. First off, I haven't racked my head around the fact that it's April. And not only that, it's the end of April. I'm like, this is the world that I live in.
You get like my dad. Ever since my dad retired, he does not know what day of the week it is anymore.
See? Oh, okay. Okay, so I think it started. Here we go. History, corporate structure, Konami Industry Limited. They began to achieve success with hit arcade games such as 1981's Frogger, Scramble, Super Cobra, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
yeah. But it looks like when they first started, and again, it's interesting how these companies start. It operates as a product distributor, which produces and distributes trading cards, anime, slot machines, arcade cabinets, and something called tokusatsu.
Oh, is that? I think I know what that is.
It is a Japanese term for live-action film or television drama that makes heavy use of special effects.
Never mind. That was absolutely not what I was thinking of.
So An example of tokusatsu is Godzilla.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Not saying Konami does Godzilla. I'm just saying that's an example.
That would be Toho.
So in other words, they actually dabble in film.
No, that's interesting. And I know they do a lot now. Like you can almost say like half of the company's monies is also in like slot machines.
Yeah. Well, you remember when I told you, I think this was last year when I found that Castlevania slot machine?
Yeah,
and I was like over the moon for that. Not only that, but interestingly enough, Konami has casinos around the world. They actually have Konami casinos.
That's cool.
And they also operate health and physical fitness clubs across Japan. So you can go to a Konami gym.
So in other words, you play real Frogger. You get your cardio in. Yep. Also, you want to make sure you don't get run over.
Interesting.
Find those next time.
Well, now that thank you, Wikipedia. Now that I'm looking at all this information,
we fell in the rabbit hole, people.
Yeah, rabbit hole, people. The name for the company Konami is actually a combination of the names, I guess, of the founders. So, You'll hear this out. So it's the first two letters of the last names of each founder. So Kajimasa Kazuki, Yoshinobu Nakama, and Tatsuyo Miyasako.
Oh, okay.
Not me. And in 1969, they actually started as a jukebox rental and repair business.
Wow, look, that's where it all started.
They started in jukeboxes and became a hit video game developer.
There you go.
There is Konami.
Very cool. And that, folks, is your history on Konami.
Yes. Isn't it fun to learn? The more you know.
All right, so Konami, in celebrating their 50th anniversary, are releasing games that are maybe only 35 years old. So, let's check this out. The first one officially released, and these are all of them are going to be on Xbox One, PS4, Steam, and the system that I bought it for, the Nintendo Switch. The first set is the Arcade Classics Anniversary Collection. 8 wonderful games, really 7 shoot 'em ups and 1 side-scrolling, but they're all arcade versions.
And they're all from the 80s.
They are. And there's a cool bonus book, an ebook.
Yes.
Because right now this is downloadable only. And the ebook, I got to be honest with you, is very it might as well be a print book. There's a lot of stuff in it.
Oh, cool.
It's pretty cool.
Well, you know me, I love buying printed books.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So just to run through these real quick, we have, in no particular order, I believe their first arcade game, Scramble, it came out. Then classic Twin Bee.
Yes, Twin Bee I remember playing. I loved Twin Bee.
Twin Bee is awesome. I actually have that for 3D on the 3DS. That one's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
A game I've never really played before. I think it may be the first time it's released on a home console. I could be wrong. Thunder Cross, which is a good side scroller.
And I'll be honest, I never heard of Thunder Cross.
Yeah, no, that one's a new one for me. And a lot of these, like, you'll hear the name, but we know them differently over here. For example, Nemesis.
Yes.
Which is actually Our Gradius.
Which is awesome.
The better named Vulcan Venture.
Yeah.
I think I know why they had to do that.
Yeah, I have a feeling they were copying something.
Gradius 2. Well, the Vic Viper is in there. Life Force. Actually, that's our Life Force, but over in Japan it was called Salamander, which I still don't understand.
Well, maybe the logo that looks like a salamander.
It does kind of. Typhoon, which we know as Tugboat. No, I'm sorry. Which we know as Ajax. Thank you. And
I thought you were going to say we know him as the Shockmaster.
Well, he was originally Tugboat, then he went to Typhoon,
yes.
Over the weekend, and no one knew about it.
Well, I mean, he got hit with a natural disaster. What do you want?
I forgot. No, I think he got hit with something, and he just got confused. Oh, speaking of tugboats,
cameo.
There you go.
Right? You want attention? Here's your attention.
Cat meow.
I find it funny how he stays still for so long.
When you're holding him like that.
Well, there you go.
My mother with Samson. And finally,
here, ready? All right, run.
Oh.
Bye.
Put your headphones on, people. Those are some heavy paws.
Yes.
Cut back on a meal or two on that poor cat.
It's very easy to exhaust him.
And finally, in the category of one of these things is not like the other, Haunted Castle.
Yes.
In this lineup, which I'm shocked is in this list and not in the next one we're going to talk about.
Well, and I'm assuming they put it in there because it's called Haunted Castle. It almost felt like the precursor to, even though it wasn't,
But also it's an arcade game, and this is an arcade collection.
Yes.
So I get it. Don't get me wrong. But Haunted Castle, for those who don't know, is actually the arcade version of Castlevania. You are playing as Simon Belmont in this game.
Except you're feeding quarters into a machine.
Oh, God, are you? I think it's public knowledge that when the creators made Gauntlet, they knew they were making a quarter eater. No one was defeating that game on one quarter, let alone on $10.
Nope. Warrior needs food badly.
Yeah. Wow. Nice pull. So, you just kept feeding quarters into it. Haunted Castle, which I originally downloaded on the PS4, it is, I don't think I've gotten past the first level yet. It is ridiculous. Ridiculously difficult.
Well, but that's the whole point. It's quarter eater. They wanted money.
Of course, but the graphics pretty cool. But yeah, it is an official Castlevania arcade.
I'm sorry, my other cat got jealous and she's on her way.
Oh boy,
she'll be here shortly.
She moves at a more steady pace.
Well, she takes her time. They've also been fighting a lot lately, so whenever he's around, whenever he's near me now, she kind of stays away. Hey, see, just like that,
just like that,
just awesome. Like that. He went to grab her tail. She smacked him in the face.
Oh, playing hard to get. Tease.
Playing more like impossible to get. I think they're playing at this point. He's like, I'm 3 years old and I want to play, and she's like, go to hell. She's more me.
Yes, that I can see that. That is true. So that's the arcade lineup, which is again, all these are going to be $20. 8 games for $20.
8 games for $20 is great. I mean, you're talking about a little over $2 a game.
Yeah.
So can't beat that. But let's talk about the collection.
Yes.
That we all want.
I'm waiting for the third collection. But
I know you're waiting for that. The third collection is going to be awesome also. Yep. But this is the one that I'm looking forward to the most because they just announced the other day the remaining 4 games that are going to be released on the Castlevania Anniversary Collection.
Yes.
And I will say, I'm surprised about one thing, and we'll get into it in a second.
Okay.
But the 8 games that they announced, now originally they announced Castlevania, Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge, Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. Castlevania 2 is awesome. And Super Castlevania 4 for the Super Nintendo. Those were the original those are the original games they announced. Now they announced the remaining 4, which are Castlevania The Adventure from Game Boy, Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. I said Belmont's Revenge before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Belmont's Revenge for Game Boy. Now Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest is officially going to be on this thing. Castlevania Bloodlines for Sega Genesis, which is amazing. And last but not least, for the Famicom, which I actually own the original Famicom version of this.
Awesome.
Kid Dracula, which was specifically made as kind of a knockoff or a junior version of Castlevania.
Mm-hmm.
So they count that, Konami counts that in like their Castlevania series. And you know what? It's a fun game. If you've never played it, it's just super fun. It's super fun. And I actually really enjoy playing the Famicom version. So it'd be great to see it in English.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played it myself. So I'm really looking forward to it.
You will get a chance now. But I will say this. Love all 8 that are listed here. That easily worth $20. No question about it.
Yep.
What my surprise is, and I'm assuming I know the answer to this, obviously, is if you're doing an Ultimate Anniversary Collection, where's Symphony of the Night? Now, Symphony of the Night was just released with that 2-pack.
The Requiem pack, yeah.
The Requiem pack, so you can buy it there. And again, it's Konami trying to make money by separating them. And the 2 that were released on that were probably more premium titles. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Symphony of the Night, Rondo of Blood. Yep.
Yeah, and Rondo of Blood. So I can understand why they were separate. And I'm only assuming that at some point they'll just do a whole anniversary collection with all of them.
100th anniversary.
What they conveniently left off, and thankfully I should say, are the Nintendo 64 games, which were awful.
Yeah, those were rough. Those were rough.
Yeah, Josh and I covered those a couple weeks ago in the franchise stinkers.
I think it would have been. I mean, look, everyone can nitpick. Everyone say, "Oh, why'd they put this game in? Why didn't they include that one?" I think it's really cool. Really, really cool. They put the Game Boy games in there.
Yes, because I've never played those.
Yeah, like instead of putting like the Game Boy Advance games, which played like Symphony of the Night. Basically, after Symphony of the Night, that was the go-to for a 2D Castlevania game. So that style. And Circle of the Moon, what was it, Harmony of Despair, I think was the other one. Great games on the Game Boy Advance. If you can get them, because I know you got the Retro Freak, definitely pick them up. They're really good. But the Castlevania Adventure, actually that game is just, it's fun, but it is so slow.
Is it?
It is terribly slow, but it's a good game. Belmont's Revenge. I may have owned that. I
definitely don't know that one.
One of them depends on which one it's. Oh no, I do own this one because I remember playing that one. Yeah, one of them. Oh no, never mind. Because I forgot which one was actually. The lead was a female Belmont, but I don't think it's any one of these two. I think it was another one.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, no, this Castlevania lineup looks sweet. You know, the timing on this. They just announced Bloodlines for the Genesis Mini.
Yes.
So, okay.
Which is another thing to talk about, too.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we got. But what I was going to say is Kid Dracula for Famicom. Did you know that there was a Game Boy remake sequel made in North America for Kid Dracula?
I think I saw it recently. I never played it, but I think I saw it recently, yes.
So that's interesting.
So, yeah. So basically you get all 4 Castlevania. So, basically, you have the core Castlevania series here.
Yeah. What started it all, basically. What really made that franchise.
And again, like you said, for $20, yeah, you're not going to get Symphony of the Night. You're not going to get Rondo of Blood. But that's okay, because you can still buy them separately on a different console if you're playing on the Switch. So, and then finally, just to mention it real quick, during the summer, they're going to release one more set, which is the Contra set.
Yes.
That's the one I'm looking forward to.
And they haven't announced anything for that yet.
Well, they announced the first 4 games.
Okay.
It's going to be the arcade versions of Contra and Super Contra.
Okay.
Which I'm not crazy about.
No, quarter eaters.
No, not only that, just the way they look. I guess I'm just more used to the NES look to it.
Yeah, but the arcade one has the cutscenes.
So does the Famicom Contra.
Yes.
So, and then they have Super C, Super C for NES, and I think Contra 3 for Super NES.
Okay.
What are they going to release? What are the other 4? I mean, you got to well, if they're doing Game Boy,
you might see some Game Boy. I'm assuming Hardcore will be on there. Contra
Hardcore for the Genesis. I would love to see Operation C. That was on Game Boy. That game was fantastic.
Cool.
I'm trying to think what else, because what was that other one, that last Contra on NES? Oh, I don't remember.
See, I don't know. My Contra playing never went beyond the original Contra.
Contra Force may be on there, that was a little tough.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what that eighth one would. Well, the eighth one should be, which really has never been re-released on any sort of console except for one that I know of. The original Contra on NES.
Well, I have a feeling they won't do that because the arcade one is pretty much the same.
But not really.
Kind of.
I mean, I have the original Contra arcade on the 360.
Mm-hmm.
The gameplay, it's enough of a difference that I think you still get that it's the nostalgia feel, if anything. But the only time I saw Contra on the NES re-released, besides on the NES, was on Contra 4 for the DS.
Okay.
It was unlockable, and it was the original NES version. That's the only other time I've ever, and that was, God, I don't know, 8 years ago or something like that, maybe.
Okay.
No, maybe shorter than that, but still. So those are the 4 I would like to see. Time will tell. Because those are really the only other Contras that there are besides like PS1 and on.
Yeah, and like I said, I was not. I never really went beyond the first Contra. Which I loved. It's just that one of those games where it was like, it wasn't that I didn't want to get them. It just kind of like they happened and I never noticed. Like there was a whole Contra franchise that happened that I had no idea. All I ever remember was Contra and Super C. That's it.
Yeah. There was a couple good ones on PS1. There's a couple bad ones on PS1 and PS2, but they're out there. They're available. And then, like I said, it came back strong.
Whoa.
Contra. What is happening over there?
Oh my God! I've got a showdown going on.
Uh-oh.
Here, follow the freaking dot and leave the other cat alone.
Into the wall. Take care of everybody.
Trust me. You know what? There are times where I wish he would. I just think he needs. I think he needs some downtime. So
while Anthony's rattling his cats,
moving on.
So so we'll see what happens with Contra. I'm looking forward to that. But we just got the arcades. We'll get through Castlevania, then we'll get to Contra. All right, so we got some dates coming up here. We're actually going to get a little busy this summer.
Oh, really? What are we doing?
Getting busy, as the kids say.
Oh, God. No, they don't say that. They do not say that, and nor should you.
Coming up in June 1st and June 2nd. Now, this is all in Long Island, of course, but hey, if you're in the tri-state area, come on down to the Cradle of Aviation Museum, which is right across the street from, hopefully, the Stanley Cup winning New York Islanders home ice.
Don't hold your breath on that.
CradleCon, June 1st and June 2nd at the Cradle of Aviation Museum. Awesome convention. Not just games, pop culture. It's kind of a cool time to have. And then a couple of months later, we will be represented at the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo.
Yes, we will.
August 10th and 11th.
Nice. SummerSlam weekend, like you like to say. Haha.
I would have been in Toronto, but I'm going to be in Garden City, New York. And I cannot be happier. So,
well, good. I'm glad you're happy because there is a chance that I will be joining you in the flesh.
There we go.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try and get out there in person. Otherwise, you'll be able to view me via video.
Hopefully.
Hopefully you will live stream me. I will actually spend the entire day with you if you want. Via live stream. Well, yeah, I'll be like, Max Headroom.
Wow. There's a pull. All right. So the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo, August 10th and 11th. As Anthony's mentioned, we will be there. We will have a table there. We'll be set up. Live streaming, podcasting. We'll run into our friends who will probably also be live streaming and podcasting. So check it out. Just go to Cradle of Aviation. You can find them on Facebook. Find them on the web. That's where you can purchase your tickets. Always purchase early. Feel free to let them know that you heard about these cons through the Retro Gamers podcast. It's not going to save you any money, but hopefully it'll get us into future cons.
Yay.
Yes. And of course, remember, wherever you listen to podcasts, hit the subscribe button. Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review. You can yell at us all you want. As long as you give 5 stars, we don't particularly worry about it.
Right. And you don't have to like both of us to give us the 5-star rating.
I'm used to it. So go right ahead. You should see some of my YouTube comments.
Oh no, yes, I have seen those. But on top of that, you can also follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast. You can hook up with us on Instagram at Retro Gamers Podcast. And you can watch us on YouTube. Just do a search for the Retro Gamers Podcast. And you can watch our podcasting, which is frightening, but definitely entertaining, to say the least.
You see stuff like my watch.
Yeah. All right, and we're back to talk about more crap. So,
old crap.
Old crap. Yes, we're going to talk about old crap. Kind of like us. So,
true. Very true.
Hey, you know what? Self-deprecating humor is some of the best humor out there. Doesn't make us hate ourselves anymore or any less. So anyway, we talked about the Konami classics, which were really cool and that were coming out. Now I think we should talk about, and this has already been in the news, but they're doing kind of that slow drip of information. And we're talking about the Sega Genesis Mini. We've covered that before on the show because it was announced about a month ago. And they announced the first 10 games for it. Well, now, a month later, they've released the second set of 10 games, which is really awesome. And if I might say, what Sega's doing that Nintendo don't, is they're actually pulling in more third-party titles than Nintendo did on their minis. And this is what has me really impressed with this. Again, the Genesis Mini drops September 19th of this year. It's available at like Walmart, Amazon, all those places, so you can pre-order it. But we're going to go through the list of 20 because the list that I have doesn't separate out the new 10. I just have all 20.
Yeah, so, and I think I'm pretty sure it's going to be the North American version.
Yes, this is the North American version list. Yes, the Japanese version always has something different.
Yeah, it looks like they may have something really cool, but we'll get into that later. All right, so what do we have on the Genesis Mini?
All right, so we have. I'm gonna work my way up here. Let's see. Yeah. So we've got Landstalker, which I don't even know. Do you know the game Landstalker?
No, I never heard of it, but I Treasure of King Noel, which is kind of weird. I think it plays. Oh, it was remade on the PlayStation Portable. Wait a minute, maybe I did see this.
Okay.
All right. Basically, you're a treasure hunter.
Okay. So, cool. Yeah. So Landstalker, Contra Hardcore, which we just talked about for the Konami collection.
Great.
It's not there. Streets of Rage 2.
Okay.
Which is arguably one of my favorite games. I love playing through that game. In fact, I think I live streamed it not too long ago.
With Rich, right?
Yeah, with Rich. We actually played through it. I think he died right at the end, but did I finish it?
I don't remember.
I think I did. I think I did finish it, but he died before we finished it.
I actually played a version of, I think it was Streets of Rage 1, but you actually played as the Ninja Turtles.
Oh, that's kind of fun. Well, because Streets of Rage 2 kind of plays like the Ninja Turtle arcade game,
Yeah, maybe it's Streets of Rage 2. But yeah, either way, I played as a turtle.
Yeah, but that's fun. Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master.
Yes, that was probably the best one.
Yeah, by far.
Yep.
Super Fantasy Zone.
Classic.
Yep. Thunder Force 3.
I think that's one of the newer ones.
See, that one I don't know. I'm going to save these two for last. Earthworm Jim, which is a great game.
I didn't realize that was coming out.
Earthworm Jim will be on the Mini. Yes. Very exciting about that one.
Yes.
Of course, the staple that you have to include on there, Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Of course. Do you think we'll get a Sonic 3?
No, I have a feeling the first two were the most iconic ones, so I don't think they'll go beyond that. That's my guess.
I always hear there's issues with Sonic 3 because of the music licensing, because there was a certain somebody who actually was responsible for the music of Sonic 3 that is probably very hard to get the rights to.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
So, a little moonwalking action.
Yeah, exactly. So, Sonic and Sonic 2.
Okay.
Gunstar Heroes.
Oh, classic. I haven't played it in a long time, but classic.
You're going to play it September 19th.
Cannot wait.
Altered Beast, which is one of my favorites. I love Altered Beast.
Awesome.
Yes. Comic Zone, which is one of those games that if you have not played it, it is just phenomenal.
We talked about it a couple weeks ago when we first announced this. Comic Zone is one of those one-offs. Like, why did they never make more? Maybe, why, don't ruin something that's already awesome.
I guess maybe it was later in the Sega Genesis cycle, and that could be why it was just they moved on to the Saturn, and they felt like games like that weren't needed on the Saturn because we were moving to disc-based and 3D and stuff. That's my guess. Okay, then we have everyone's favorite cool duo, Toe Jam and Earl.
Yep.
Love that game.
I never got into that game.
There's a new one out there now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Macaulay Culkin.
I'm weird.
I random. Hey, you know what? Celebrities like playing video games too.
There you go.
There was let's finish this list and then I'll get to that little side story. Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
It's a good puzzle, good take on columns. So
yeah, exactly. Just another puzzler. Mario had Dr. Mario. And then we have Space Harrier 2.
Okay. Yep.
Echo the Dolphin.
You're one of your favorites.
I loved that game, and then realized not too long ago that I never really did anything in it.
You just swam.
I basically spent I would turn it on and I'd spend 30 to 45 minutes just swimming around the ocean, and I never really tried to beat the game. I remember talking to a whale a lot in the game who would give you instruction on what to do, and I still couldn't figure it out. Still enjoyed it. I will also say that the Dreamcast game was great.
That's right. I forgot I had a Dreamcast game.
And then we have Castlevania Bloodlines.
Yes.
Which is going to be awesome. And then my personal favorite on the list, Shining Force, the first one.
Sweet.
Again, I consider Shining Force one of the best RPG series of all time. And if you haven't played it, here's your opportunity to do it. It's fantastic. And then the last two, and this is why I'm saying Sega's definitely going all in on this one because I know they had to pay a pretty penny for these two.
Oh, I know which two you're talking about. Yeah, I saw these two on the list. I was like, whoa, now we're playing big time.
And you know what? They deserve to be on the list because they are probably two of the best games on the Sega Genesis. And we're talking about Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and World of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. If you've never played those games, even though they're licensed Disney games, they are fantastic games. Absolutely.
Castle of Illusion I played. Castle of Illusion I own. They actually remade Castle of Illusion a few years ago.
Yes, they did.
I got it on the PS3, I think, not even the PS4. And what was cool was as a pre-order bonus, you got the original Genesis Castle of Illusion as well. Mm-hmm. But World of Illusion, I never played.
Yeah. So World of Illusion is basically just a sequel to Castle.
Well, yeah. I like Donald Duck more than Mickey, so
exactly. So you get a similar style of gameplay, but seeing those two on here makes me really feel like Sega is doing their best to make you forget the horror that was at games and all those other minis that they made that were absolute trash.
That is true. At Games was just
oof. And At Games did so much damage to their reputation with these these throwbacks that they actually had to come out and say, no, this is going to be different. We're having the company that created the Sega Ages collection make the mini because the Sega Ages collections are great. They're great ports.
Oh yeah, we have nothing. Sega's like, At Games has nothing to do with it.
Exactly. Now, and we've talked about this before, and the only weird thing about it is that, or at least the difference between ours and the Japanese, besides there are a couple of games that'll be different, is that we're getting 2 controllers in the Genesis Mini, but they're 3-button controllers. The Japanese one's getting 6-button.
But still, of the games they announce, it's weird. I don't see any 6-button games.
Well, and that's fine. The 3 buttons will be fine. What I'm happy about is that you're getting 2 controllers.
Yes.
So
this is true. And then the only other cool thing about the Japanese version, the Mega Drive version, is I think there's multiple versions of Castlevania Bloodlines in that one.
I'm looking at their list right now.
There's no. I'm saying in
the actual Bloodlines
Castlevania Bloodline, you can change it to either be the North American version, the European version or the Japanese version, and that's going to change the difference in probably blood, violence, you know what I mean, graphics, stuff like that. So,
what I'm interested in on the Japanese version, because they actually have a lot of different games on this one. There's a game called Rent a Hero, and I want to know how that works. Like, in other words, like, does somebody come up to me? Do I have to negotiate a rate with them before I go out on the level? Like, that's how I see Rent a Hero. It's like, oh, you need my services? What do you need? Okay, well, I'm going to charge you X amount.
Someone walking up to you and you negotiating a price does not sound like a game that Sega would have put out.
Well, you know what? I would think Sega would do it before Nintendo.
This is true. Actually, this is very true.
Which then makes me think of when are we getting the Leisure Suit Larry collection on the PlayStation or Xbox?
Hopefully never.
Okay.
I mean, great game.
That's the news on the Sega Genesis Mini again. Now we've got 20 of the 40 games announced, and already those 20 are pretty heavy hitters. So, so far I think they're knocking it out of the park. We'll see what the other half are, what the other half are going to be as they continue to drop these.
I already got mine on pre-order, so
it's for you.
Yes. Now, speaking of, older games and everything like that, actually, this was really cool. I came across this just the other day. So, backwards capability, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Xbox has been really good with backwards capability, especially on Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
Where, the 360 games that are backwards compatible, the original Xbox games that are backwards compatible. Now, tons of them, I think over 300 games, maybe even more than that, are backwards compatible. But if you own an Xbox One X, which is the 4K version, there are about 61 games between the Xbox 360 and the original Xbox that are backwards compatible that when you play them on the Xbox One X, they actually souped up the graphics.
Oh, that's really cool.
The game, and now we're not talking 4K, but basically here are the stats on it. And this is coming straight from Xbox.com. And I quote, select Xbox 360 games are Xbox One X enhanced. That's what they're calling it. Leaving the additional power of the console, leveraging the additional power of the console for higher resolution, 9 times the original pixel count, and expanded color detail.
Oh.
So these things are going to pop. And just to name a few that jump out to me, I'm not going to name all 61, but name a few. Fable 2 and 3. Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 13 2.
Oh, nice.
Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2.
Oh, we got to go back and play those.
Yes, absolutely. Going back to the original Xbox, Knights of the Old Republic.
Ooh, very nice.
Yep. The original Battlefront games on the original Xbox. Destroy All Humans. Did you play that?
Destroy All Humans? No, I never.
Oh, I don't know what the Conquer Reloaded, which is basically Bad Fur Day.
I love Conquer.
Red Dead Redemption, the original Red Dead Redemption we're talking about.
Which I've never played.
A game I played on Xbox, which was awesome, the original Xbox, Black. Very good first-person shooter. And amongst Psychonauts.
Oh, nice.
There we go. I knew there was one of them. And let me just see what this other page is. Oh, pretty much almost all the Fables. And the original Assassin's Creed, amongst others. Oh, and Mirror's Edge. I knew there was another big name I wanted to mention.
Okay, cool.
Mirror's Edge. So this is I haven't had a chance to try this yet. I own a couple of these, so I will definitely give that a shot. But to see like Knights of the Old Republic to pop like that with color, and
you'll have to give us a recap of that since I don't have an Xbox One X.
Will do.
Awesome. Yes. I got a few things on this side of the fence also.
Go for it.
One of them is that there is a remake coming to the Switch this November do you remember the cel-shaded shooter 13? It was in Roman numerals. Oh, yeah. They are doing a remake of it for the Switch this November. Yep. Ubisoft announced it.
Nice.
So if you haven't played that game, I'll just give you a little blurb on it. 13 is a first-person shooter where you play as 13, a talented soldier who lost his memory and has been accused of killing the President of the United States. First wake up injured and amnesiac on Brighton Beach with the only clue being a small key and a mysterious tattoo that reads 13 next to your clavicle.
Wait, Brighton Beach? Like Brooklyn?
It says Brighton Beach.
I wonder.
I don't know. Is Coney Island in the game?
Yeah.
It's now your job to search for answers through a 34-level solo campaign. So 34 levels. So yeah, that's coming out on the Switch. I thought that was a cool little announcement.
No, definitely.
And to continue on with my Switch news, I have a couple of other bits.
Yep.
So on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, if you own Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, there is a custom stage level creation. Did you know about this?
Oh, I heard about it.
There's stage builder mode.
Yep.
So you can build what you want in the stage.
Oh,
now, unfortunately, because you can create your own custom stages, and this update. Now, let me remind you. Let me put it in perspective. The stage update system was downloadable as of Thursday, the 18th.
Yep.
Right? Thursday, April 18th. On April 19th, Nintendo has already reported that they have to run in and clean up this area of the game because of, quote, inappropriate and offensive custom stages.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. I heard someone posted, like, the update's been live for 1 hour, and I've already found 5 stages that are deemed inappropriate.
So, apparently they had similar issues with Super Mario Maker that they've had to clean up.
Right, I can see that.
Inappropriate levels.
But it's going to be a lot easier to do it in Super Smash Brothers.
Well, Nintendo's already got a team on it. So if you're planning on creating an inappropriate stage in Super Smash Brothers, just so you know, it will get removed because Nintendo is Nintendo.
Oh, that's
man,
that's too fun. I saw one of the stages. It was like, whoa.
Yeah, there you go. And then another bit of Nintendo news. We all know that Nintendo of America's president, has recently retired, right? Reggie Fils-Aime, or however you say his last name. How do you say it?
Fils-Aime.
I don't know how to say his name. I like Fils-Aime. Look, the L is silent. There's an umlaut on the E.
And there's a hyphen in there.
Fils-Aime. I look. I can only say things in Japanese. So Reggie Fils-Aime is leaving Nintendo. Obviously, we all know that he's being replaced by whatever his first name is, Mr. Bowser.
Oh yeah, something Bowser. Yeah.
Something Bowser. But anyway, Reggie's been getting like little gifts, like parting gifts and everything like that. And he shared one of the gifts he received, which he calls his most touching gift of all of the parting gifts. And what they did was they had somebody create for him, custom make an amiibo of former Nintendo president Satoru Iwata. And it looks and it looks really, really cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I just like a beautiful little tribute to him. And yeah, it's just fantastic. And he showed it off on Twitter, which is great.
That's sweet. So I gotta check that out.
Yeah, so that was a cool.
He just joined Twitter.
No, he probably,
like his own account.
Well, I wonder if he did that because, as part of working for Nintendo, he couldn't have a personal one.
Or probably just he was too busy tweeting through Nintendo. You know what I mean? Like as Nintendo.
That too.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like everything was always on official business, not personal.
Yeah. But that's pretty cool. I gotta check that out.
So Reggie Fils-Aime. Got it.
You'll never forget.
No. Although Fils-Aime is kind of fun.
All right, and then going back to the old home console, mini consoles, if you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though this thing's not really that mini, but it's probably one of the ugliest things I've seen in a while.
Oh yes.
So Capcom is getting in on the home mini console game, but this thing, the concept is awesome.
Yes,
it is a Capcom. What is the official name? Whatever. The Capcom Arcade Mini is what we'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
It is just that. It is 16 classic Capcom arcade games in one unit. But the unit is basically like arcade joysticks, like a double arcade joystick.
Mm-hmm.
But because you're good with this, Ant, you're out in Hollywood. You're a writer. Can you paint the picture of what this thing looks like?
Yeah. Give me 1 second to bring it up. Capcom Arcade Mini,
all right.
because I do not have it up here.
That's okay. Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I got it. See,
okay.
I just needed a second. So first off, this thing, I think, to your point, it's only available in the UK. Am I correct?
So far,
or in Europe?
That's what it looks
like. It's only
like.
available in Europe. Okay. So we're talking about basically if you were, let's say you were standing in front of an arcade cabinet, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've got the board with the joystick on it. Yeah. So imagine that you have this board at home.
And double joysticks.
Yeah, with double joysticks and everything so that you and a friend can play together. However, the board is not just a standard board. It is in the shape of the Capcom logo. And when I say it's in the shape of a Capcom logo, it's die cut into the shape of a Capcom logo. So it's not like you have like this rectangular thing that you can put on your lap type of thing, which, by the way, I'll also get to in a second. I'm like, no. I was like, you've got this all the curves, all the grooves cut out so that the sucker spells Capcom. Now, it's 2 players. Are they detachable? So it's 2 people that can... No. You have to sit literally right next to your friend and put this sucker on your lap if you want to play it that way. Or you got to have like a tabletop or something like that.
Well, sharing is caring. But
sharing is caring, but you know what? If thighs are touching, we're going to look too close.
And here's the other thing so it just says Capcom on it. But here's the thing. Here's what annoys me. I really hope they change this somehow. Now it's your traditional 6-button layout with 2 buttons on top. I guess like a player 1, player 2, or start and select. But they're not labeled. It's all part of the logo.
Yep.
It's just kind of weird. I don't know. It's just that part's weird.
Basically, you have to start a game and figure it out.
Yeah. With that being said, though, let's talk about the games. There are 16 arcade games on this, and they are actually sweet games. Come on.
They are.
Here we go. So, to run through it, I didn't even know this game was around. 1944, The Loop Master.
All about looping.
That's the 5th game in the series, actually, the 19 blank series. I'm going to go a little out of order here. Armored Warriors.
Yep.
Capcom Sports Club, which I think is more like a arcadey soccer game.
Okay, makes sense.
Captain Commando. Captain Commando, which is a classic fighter, what we'll call a final fighter.
Nice.
Cyberbots, never heard of. Full Metal Madness. That's going to be interesting.
Don't know that one either.
Here we go, Ant. Darkstalkers.
Yes. Darkstalkers is awesome.
The Night Warriors. Eco Fighters.
Captain Planet. I'm sorry.
The OG Final Fight. That's going to be on there.
Okay.
Ghouls and Ghosts.
Yes. Ghouls and Ghosts. Great game. Absolutely great game.
Giga Wing, which I never heard of. So I'm looking
Never heard of that one.
Mega Man The Power Battle. Now,
no idea. Do you know that one?
Yeah, this one. Well, it is what it is. It's basically it's a Mega Man fighter. So that's basically what it is. But you take control of only one of 3 characters: Mega Man, Proto Man, or Bass.
Okay.
So, but still, it's kind of like a straight up fighter, which is pretty cool. Okay, where are the other games? It just disappeared on me. There.
Yeah.
Yep. Pro Gear. Again, I never heard of it.
I've never heard of it either, but the logo is kind of weird because the name of the game, like, to me, Pro Gear sounds like an action or adventure oriented, but the logo looks like an RPG-ish kind of thing. I don't know what that is.
5 devious elders attempt to take over the Parts Kingdom and start a new world order.
There you go.
It's a horizontal shoot 'em up. Oh,
really?
I'm looking at. I just caught a screen grab of it. Oh, I'm gonna love that. All righty.
Cool.
No one.
So you're gonna have this giant Capcom monstrosity in your house.
Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting.
Nice.
Strider. Great game.
Excellent game.
Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, which is actually a very fun puzzler.
Yeah, no, that Super Puzzle Fighter series actually turned out to be pretty good.
And in a game, I believe this is the first time this game has been available on a home console of any kind officially.
Yep.
Alien versus Predator.
Yes. That's the one out of the whole list that has me the most excited.
I don't think I've ever played this game.
Well, that and Eco Fighters, of course.
Yeah, Eco Fighters I want to check out as well. But, Alien versus Predator, again, plays like, we'll call it a Final Fight game, just so people can compare it to something. Do you pick between Alien Predator or you play as the humans? You never played it? I thought you played it.
I thought it was human.
Okay. Well, we'll take it.
Am I wrong? No, I play. Wait. You know what it is? I keep getting it confused with the Alien arcade game,
Oh, this is weird. Take control of one of 4 human or predator characters.
So, okay.
No matter what, you're taking on the aliens.
Basically, you're teaming up with the predators to take on the aliens. Now, who's going to want to be the human when you have the option to be the predator,
You're exactly right. So those are the 16 games. I believe the retail value of this is 200. I don't know if it's pounds or American dollars or euros. It's 200 euros.
200 euro, which is going to be like 250, ooh, right? 250, 260.
So this is interesting. So you can pre-order it right now at amazon.co.uk.
Mm-hmm.
Free delivery in the United Kingdom. Releases October 25th, 2019.
Yep.
The item does not ship to the United States, so you are not getting it from Amazon.
Aww.
Interesting, actually.
That's okay. I've got connections.
How?
But also, I'm not buying it.
I would. I mean,
no, I would too, but I've been dropping a little too much money on other things. So,
what is this? I'm sorry, I just caught something real quick. Like on Amazon, it's like, hey, if you want to buy this, buy this. Atari apparently is dipping their toes into the mini arcades.
That doesn't surprise me.
There is an Atari Pong coming out, a little mini Pong.
Oh, I heard about that.
Hold on, let me.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
That's awesome.
Yep. And that's not the only one.
There's another one.
They're releasing 2 minis. It's that one and Centipede.
No, hold on. And it's not just Pong. In the one unit is Pong, Breakout, Off the Wall, Super Breakout, and Circus Atari.
Correct.
I guess to take advantage of the things.
Right.
What's the other one?
And the other one is it's got the joystick look.
Yeah.
It's going to have Centipede, Adventure, Sprint Master, Warlords, and Yar's Revenge. And these come out September 26th.
Are they coming out here as well or just over in Europe?
I'm not sure about that.
Let's is cool. I just found this out.
Mini arcade.
You're getting
they're
cool
stuff. Powered by 4 AA batteries.
What?
It'll cost you €25.
It's a lot of sandwiches.
Exactly. It does not say if it's coming out in the U.S.
All right.
So.
All right. Well, I just came across. I just popped in my feed, so I thought that was pretty interesting. All righty. Well. Boy, these old mini consoles, man. It's good thing I'm making I'm having built almost like a curio cabinet for all the mini systems that I have.
Well, what I find ironic though with you is that, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, but what I'm finding ironic is that at one point you had decided, I don't want to have all these physical games anymore. It's just everything takes up space. I'm going to repurchase everything, digitally download it, get rid of the clutter and all that stuff, and everything was great. And now you're buying everything.
But it's a little different. It's a little different because these are like little mini consoles.
They still take up space.
Yeah, but not as much space as if I bought games.
Yeah, but you're buying games again.
But it's like 20 games in one.
No, I know. You're still buying games again, though. You just said, look,
not agreeing with your logic.
Well, look, remember, okay, so right before we started recording the podcast today, we were talking about the Polymega, and you're like, oh, I'm buying Sega Saturn and Sega CD games again. Well, you gotta have space for those.
That's a problem. Yeah, no, I can't.
But that's what I mean. Those. It's funny. I just think it's ironic that you were trying to go all digital, and now we're actually going all back to physical.
So. Only for CDs. At least I could put those in a book.
True. Very true.
Which I'm going to be doing.
Do not throw out the cases. I'll shoot you.
No. These were just regular. They threw them like a regular DVD case, so they're not even.
Got it. Okay.
But what I pick is I'm starting to pick up some Saturn games and Sega CD games now, so that way when the Polymega comes out, I'll have the games. I picked up WrestleMania, the arcade game for Saturn.
Nice.
I picked up. Oh, also because it's a TurboGrafx, I picked up Bonk's Adventure.
Cool.
JJ and Jeff, which is an interesting game.
Okay.
Alex Kidd in the Wonder Zone, I think it's called. That was like the pack-in game.
Mm-hmm.
There was another Saturn game. What was the Saturn game I bought? A couple other ones I have over there. I'll show them later. I already have that.
I know.
I cannot wait.
I know. Oh, I've been itching to play mine.
I heard
you just poked me in the eye with that.
rumor. I heard that someone is translating books 2 and 3 of Shining Force 3, the Japanese ones, to English.
Okay, I'm all in for those.
So it was, remember, Shining Force.
We only got book 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was 3 chapters in Japan, but like you said, we only got chapter 1 here in the U.S.
I have a feeling we would have gotten the other 2 had the Saturn not been a failure.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. So, all right. Well, a lot of big time news.
Yeah, we got there's a lot of stuff happening in the world of retro and current gaming, of course, which we did not cover. Oh, look, someone forgot something.
Yeah, no, just something really fun to and I'll try and show it next time. Is so my new kind of now feeding into your logic of me buying stuff. My new discovery is getting video games now autographed.
Yes.
By like someone, not like the designer or something like that. Well, if I could, that'd be awesome. But just like somehow related to somebody. Like, for example, I got Krull on Atari. Krull was an early 1980s fantasy movie.
Yes, it was.
It was terrible. Liam Neeson's first movie, though, I think.
Was it?
I think it was. It was.
Oh, God. Okay.
So Riff Tracks, the guys from Mystery Science Theater, they riffed Krull live, and it beams to the theaters. So I mailed them a copy of Krull on Atari just for them to sign, and like 8 months later, they sent it back. So that's what I'm talking about, like just somehow some relation. So I'm going to Chiller Theater in Parsippany, New Jersey this weekend. Mm-hmm. Not only to get some autographs, like I got my Spaceballs DVD ready to go, be signed by Colonel Sanders.
Nice,
second in command. We can't stop; it's too dangerous. But I also picked up a pack of ALF cards, old ALF cards.
Oh, my.
Because the mother from ALF is going to be there.
Oh, jeez.
So, and I'm not going to open it. I'm going to have her sign the original pack. Hopefully she'll be able to sign over the gum.
I'll die laughing if she opens it in front of you.
Oh, my God, imagine. I picked up Raiders of the Lost Ark on Atari because Karen Allen is going to be there.
Oh, nice.
Now, granted, she's going to be there for Animal House, which I keep forgetting she's in Animal House.
Yep.
But I'll try and get her to sign that.
But there's no Animal House game, so you can't get that signed.
Nope. I picked up a nice clean copy, wasn't expensive, of Back to the Future on NES.
Nice.
Because Marvin Barry is going to be there.
Nice.
Hey, Chuck, it's your cousin. Side note as well, I have been tasked and challenged by Game On to actually complete Back to the Future on NES.
Really?
I hate that game.
Why?
So
it's not that hard.
I know, it's just tedious.
Okay.
I find it tedious.
Well, I mean, I do too, but I've beaten it 1,000 times.
Did you beat it on the live stream?
I did.
Okay, cool. So, and I never got to the final level.
With the DeLorean?
Yeah, I never got to that. I know I haven't.
Aw, poor baby.
So, and then finally, which I think is going to be the really fun one to get signed, I picked up in-box, not expensive, but in-box, Hollywood Squares on NES because the host, John Davidson, is going to be there.
Oh, my God. Really?
Yup. I don't know why he's going to be there, but he's going to be there.
All right, sure. Hey, why not?
He did.
Guy's got to make a buck.
He did movies before Hollywood Squares.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and one of his other conventions, Shadow Stevens was at.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm going to get him to sign that, and they're going to try and get Tony Danza to say something for the Better Half podcast.
Oh, Samantha.
Simona, welcome to the Better Half. Thoughts and prayers. I can't do it. Frankie does it so much better. So that, and then just
Mona, rest in peace. Aw.
To Tsunami. And then of course, I'm really looking forward to meeting Miss Molly, who I haven't seen in about 32 years.
Since she knocked you on the ground.
No, she didn't knock me on the ground. She knocked another kid on the ground.
Oh, she knocked another kid. She just yelled at you.
She did yell at me, yes, and she yelled at my friend, and she did something else. Oh yeah, every time they went in between takes, she would just run to her dressing room and not talk.
See, and now that you're an adult, you can talk to her about that. She'd be like, "So, when you kept running to the dressing room, alcohol problem?"
No, I think I told this on the podcast. So long story short, she was a host of a show called Romper Room. I was on in 1985, I want to say, maybe 86. Maybe 85. Like I had the run of the show because I got on because my grandmother was Miss Molly, the host, her husband's boss. So that's how I got on. Me and my buddy Rick. So we were on the show, and I remember the one thing I remember the most, besides Ricky getting yelled at for yelling, "Hey, I got Transformers shoes on," and she told us to be quiet, was someone asked her, "Where's Doobie?" Which is the giant bumblebee. If anyone remembers the Romper Room.
Oh, good Lord!
I think Romper Room may have only been local. I don't think it went. I
have no idea, but I remember the awesomeness that was Doobie.
Yeah, so Doobie, big giant bumblebee. So one of the kids goes, "Hey, where's Doobie?" And she went, and I quote, "He's only here on Tuesdays."
Wow.
We're like, oh, okay. Oh, classic episode. Then she asked me to do a number jump and the even numbers, and you can watch a 5-year-old's head explode trying to figure out what the even numbers are. So
I have to watch this.
Well, fun. If you go to my
YouTube, I know.
My YouTube page, youtube.com/c/more365, you can watch the whole episode, which for Retro Gamers fans, all right, maybe you don't want to watch necessarily me, but really cool vintage commercials.
Yes. It's always fun watching the vintage commercials.
Like the old Justice League toys.
Yes.
And Pac-Man cereal.
Oh, yes. I love Pac-Man cereal.
Featuring Super Pac-Man.
Yes. So all right. I think we should steer this home, Larry.
Yeah. And then there was a Jazzercise commercial, I think, later on. So with that, wonderful episode. A lot of cool stuff we talked about.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll get ready to close this up right now. Again, as always, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. Ant, you got anything happening or anything like that?
Life, I guess.
Or no.
No. How about no? You know, no, I'm actually going to my friend's house today, and I'm bringing the PlayStation VR to show them the awesomeness that is the VR.
Awesome.
So I will have a VR evening. Very good friend of ours, Anthony, is coming to visit me. Not Anthony Chu of the Yin and the Yang podcast, but you should also check out the Yin and the Yang podcast with Anthony Chu. But our other friend, Anthony, will be in town with his family. So we're going to be doing the rounds. And when I say the rounds, I mean Universal Studios, Disneyland, all that stuff.
Awesome. That is, yeah, bless.
That was an hour in the making.
Awesome. And, yep. And with that, folks, we will catch you right here next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.